investigates. Hundreds of thousands of South Floridians live in condominiums, and those condos frequently have governing boards that are supposed to answer to the residents, but that doesn't always happen.
Residents in the Ramblewood East community in Coral Springs contacted CBS News Miami, desperate for help to deal with their board. Our Joan Murray has been looking into the complaints and talked to experts about how to create change.
Althea James says her ceiling is leaking.
And it's hard when you pay maintenance here and you can't get what it is you want. You know, it's not right.
Frustrated residents at Ramblewood East contacted CBS Miami to try to get some help for what they say is an unresponsive condo association board. There are more than 1,000 units in this sprawling Coral Springs condominium built in the 1970s. They tell us they have a board that doesn't hold regular meetings.
These people become powerful and they get to a certain point where they become untouchable.
Gonzalez and James were part of a group that met with legal aid to find out their options for making changes at Ramblewood. We could not sit in on the meeting, but afterwards we spoke to residents and heard a common theme.
The building is falling apart. There is water in the walls. The roofs leaks when it rains a lot. Most of the time I have flood in front of my door.
Clemente Perez has lived at Ramblewood 29 years.
Everything is neglect. They don't have regular maintenance people. They only got one guy, okay, for 66 acres.
The condo association owns over 200 units for which they collect rent. They also charge each resident monthly dues.
Oh, I wish I knew where the money was going.
You seem to have a lot of insight. Diane Hirschfield once volunteered in the association office and said when the president took over more than 10 years ago, he instituted positive changes.
There were a lot of foreclosures and everything. Some of the policies he instituted, he really was very good and it was helpful. But now those policies, I don't know what happened to them. They just seem to have gone by the wayside.
Hirschfield is also frustrated about the lack of information from the board.
There's no meetings. We have absolutely no idea what's going on. All we see is the property deteriorating a little bit more every year.
Unit owners have many protections and many rights. In my opinion, the most sacred of all rights for a condominium owner is the right to run for the board and hand in hand the right to vote for the board members.
What are you working on?
Past Florida condo ombudsman Spencer Henning said board members can be replaced yearly during election or through a recall, but it is difficult.
It requires a majority of unit owners to agree to recall and replace a board member. The current system is very good if the board are good actors. But if the board is corrupt and if the board are bad actors, and this is a very small minority of condominium associations, it is my opinion that the current system is not adequate.
Hennings recently testified at a state legislative hearing on condo law, and he advocated for change.
This is an association president.
Some condo owners aren't waiting for Florida law to change. Instead, they pay to get information from South Florida Property Owners Consulting.
Not only have we found that the laws that are in place are not protecting the homeowners, but there are so many loopholes.
Tamara Reyes founded the business. She's a retired Miami-Dade police sergeant who worked in the Economic Crimes Bureau. For a fee, her expert team of ex-law enforcement, accountants, and auditors help property owners figure out how much money boards are taking in and whether the funds are being spent properly.
You have to follow the money. The paper trail is often, I mean, it's overwhelming.
We went to the office again to reach out to the association president and board for comment. We did not hear back. Early next year, there will be another election for board members. Concerned residents will be watching and will tell you what happens. In Coral Springs, Joan Murray, CBS News, Miami.